Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Fiselmi and today I will be presenting to you guys about software quality assurance. Before we start to dive in software quality assurance, I will be giving a brief introduction on what I will be presenting. So basically computers are everywhere nowadays. It can be in your office, in your house. So software engineers, they have been entrusted to resolve large and complex systems, sometimes cost effectively. However, as the complexity increases, many problems have been surfacing, such as late software delivery, cost exceeding projects, unclear user requirements, and difficult maintenance and unstable software. All of these problems will accumulate and will result in project failure. So it is very important to resolve all of these problems as the project runs. Now, as you can see, the main reasons for software project failure, according to developers worldwide, the top of the charts are changing or poorly documented requirements, underfunding or under-resourcing, poor team of organizational management. So these problems can be solved by having a proper QA team. QA stands for Quality Assurance Team. So what they do is they practically ensures that these problems are not to be affected to the software project. They always see the clients manage to reduce any cost overruns and to ensure that the team or organization is prepared to do the software project properly. So it is very important to have a proper QA team and an SQA document. What is SQA? So basically SQA is a document. It is a plan and systematic approach to the evaluation of the quality, software product standards, processes and procedures. So it basically says that it is a proper document that every stakeholders, be it a developer or a client, they can see the document and see that every standards need to be followed. So SQA includes the process of assuring that standards and procedures are established and are followed throughout the software lifecycle. It's monumental to reduce the risk of project failure. SQA does that. So one of the activities in SQA is auditing of projects to ensure that quality controls are adhered to, reviewing the quality system, staff development of personnel employed within the quality assurance area, negotiation of resources which enable staff who carry out quality assurance activity to function properly, providing input into development-oriented improvement activities, like for example, the adoption of a new notation for requirement specification, development of standards, procedures, and guidelines. So these are the activities in SQA that the QA team need to adhere to. Next is the life cycle phases of SQA system development. So SDLC, Software Development Lifecycle, is basically a subset of the SQA system development lifecycle. So in this slide, I'll be using the waterfall model. So it starts off with the requirement definition. So in this stage, the software engineer collects the client requirements with the aid of clients and domain specialists to define them. It's important to have a defined requirement definition to help the software developers develop the system that the client needs. Then the design in this phase, software designers identify the system input, output, and processes. So basically they design all the models, all the ERD or the database design, everything inside this phase. Next is the code generation. So we basically take the design and code it into the system using a selected programming language. And then the testing is important. In this phase, the system is tested as a whole and a system integration is realized. Installation, after the customer approve the software is installed to serve the customer. Next is maintenance. Maintenance phase begins after installation and conversion is completed. So SQA development lifecycle includes the above SDLC, but prior to the SDLC, they basically conduct this. So they have the pre-project phase. This is before the project started. SQA program will be implemented. The organization quality policy and QA methodology will establish. QA staff will be allocated and initial SQA component created. Basically, they prepare the QA the SQA document. Proposal, for this part, the proposal committee and the legal department carry out tasks of this process for the agreement between the client and the organization. After evaluating the draft contract, a mutually agreed contract is reached. Then it describes the project source, schedule, and cost estimates. And then after that, the project preparation, in this phase, all the necessary project activities are identified and can be carried out. So this is an image of a day as a software quality assurance engineer. They basically need to identify the bugs, the plan and different stages of testing, develop new tools, and make sure the documents are standardized. So the standards for documentation in SQA is specify a form and content for planning, control, and product documentation. So basically this promotes document consistency for the project, increases the understanding of every developer, every stakeholder. That's the design standards, specify the form and content of the design product. Basically, they provide the rules and methods for translating the software requirement into software design and for representing it in the design documentation. What it means is they take the design and they convert it into codes, and from that code, it can be implemented to a system. Then the code standards specify the language in which the code is to be written. It defines any restriction on the use of language features. Now, for the software quality factors, there are a few. I'll be explaining each and one of them. So we have correctness, basically the accuracy and completeness of the required output. High reliability, so the system needs to be reliable, less downtime. Then efficiency, the resources needed to perform a software function. Integrity, the security part of the system. Usability, the ability to learn and perform required tasks by the user. Maintainability, easy to maintain, easy for the developers to maintain the system. Flexibility, degree of adaptability, so it can adapt to new environments. Testability is supports for testing. So there are 7 principles of quality development process. I'll be explaining all of them. The first principle is the reason it all exists. It's supposed to exist. Sorry about the typo. So basically, a software system exists for one reason, to provide value to its user. Before specifying a system requirement, you need to ask yourself, does this add real value to the system? If it does, then it should be implemented. If it's not, don't do it. Don't add more work. The second principle, keep it simple. There are many factors to consider in any design effort. All designs should be simple as possible, but not so simple. It should not be quick and dirty. It should take a lot of thought and work over multiple iterations. So basically, it need to be easily understood by the user. The third principle, maintain the vision. A clear vision is essential to the success of project software. Fourth vision, what you produce, others will consume. Specify what the user need. Make sure it caters to them. The fifth principle, be open to the future. So the future is large, it's long. So basically, having a plan for the system to be used in the future is important. Plan ahead. The sixth principle, plan ahead for reuse. So basically, reuse saves time and effort. It also saves cost. So reusing the code and design to a new system is important, is crucial, as it can save cost, and reusing it increases the value for both. Seventh principle, think. The last principle is probably the most overlooked. Having a clear and complete thought before action almost produces better result. You also gain knowledge about how to doing it. So conclusion. So nowadays, all the software development industries are implementing the SQA components to get quality software and satisfies all the requirements of the customer. Software quality assurance concepts are used to make error-free software and concentrate on complex activities. They are also to keep track the deadlines and prevent cost overrun in the project. Software quality assurances activities, principles, factors, and its methods are implemented in the early stage of software engineering development phases. Due to these activities, the software developer may get an early understanding about what software they are going to develop. So that will be all. Thank you for listening. My name is Muhammad Hafiz Helmi. Assalamualaikum.